Okay, Capricorns, let's get to your love reading. I feel like for you Capricorns, there's going to be a lot of insecurity in the air for this month. Not even in terms of, the typical sense of insecurity, like, you're not confident in yourself, but also just a lack of security in your surroundings, in your circumstances. You might be feeling like you have, like the ground under you is not secure, not stable, and you feel like, you could sink through and slip through at any moment. I feel like there's definitely, you feel like there's a feeling of not trusting and not having faith in what's around you right now. You feel like it's kind of like a fleeting thing, or you might not think that, but there's definitely a feeling of like not feeling comfortable, not feeling secure in your surroundings. So I guess just watch out for that. That feeling would come from Venus being in retrograde. So some of you might feel that more than others. Some of you, it might not even really affect you, but definitely for some of you, there is going to be that feeling of insecurity. It might be pushing you to do something good for yourself, but there is going to be a struggle, at least at the beginning, while you're still kind of trying to orientate yourself. Okay. So let's see what this reading has to say about your love life, Capricorns. The first card, the heart of the matter, is the Hermit in the reverse position. So I do feel like normally this card is about taking time for yourself and being independent and taking the time to look inward, introspect, and work on yourself so that you can once again re-emerge and reintegrate into society as a better person for what you've learned from being by yourself. In the reverse position, I feel like you're trying something new. You're trying to be alone to kind of get a different perspective on things, but I feel like right now might not be the best time for you to be alone. I feel like it's a good thing if you interact with people, reach out to people, and connect with people. I do feel like, Capricorns sometimes really love their alone time. They love their private time, but at the same time, in the reverse position, I feel like this card is telling you that you need to put yourself out there more. You need to reach out and kind of be able to sacrifice that time, your alone time, because you are going to benefit from surrounding yourself with other people, with making new connections, new friendships. And if you're in a relationship, then I feel like, this doesn't necessarily have to do with your relationship. It could just be a social thing. But if you are in a relationship, then for some of you, you might be feeling like you're trying to kind of work on yourself kind of in secret, or away from the help of or the eyes of that other person. But I feel like it's something that this is a time for you to be more open, and you shouldn't kind of seclude yourself. You shouldn't hide. You should be more open up the lines of communication. In the recent past, we have the Chariot in the reverse position. So I feel like you felt a lack of purpose. You felt like, you felt like you did have the strength, and you would have had the willpower to do, to accomplish something, to maybe go after a relationship, or to salvage a relationship, or to, work harder at a relationship. But there was just, you felt like there was no point. You were lacking that, there was something missing. You're lacking that motivation fully commit to something. And I'm not really sure why. I feel like there is, you've been kind of, if you see the pentacle at the top, the star there, the coin symbol, I feel like you've been sort of leading with your, with a need for money. You've been like letting, like even the fear of money lead you and push you, and that's why you haven't been succeeding in being motivated, because that's not what your heart wants. That's, if you keep listening, if you keep ignoring your heart, you're not going to find happiness. You're going to feel like you lack purpose and you lack motivation to keep going, because you can feel that your heart is not into it. And if you're just, letting your fear of money and your primary goal is to make money, you're not going to last very long, because you might have that initial urge to go and do something, but then it's going to burn out and fade really quickly because your heart is not in it. And when your heart is fully committed to something, it can take you so much further than if, just pure logic alone tells you that you should go in that direction. So I do feel like you need to listen to your heart a bit more and listen to the path that it is taking you towards. And so the Chariot in the reverse position also might mean that your prioritizing is not working out for you. You're putting your heart and your emotions kind of low on the list of priorities when you should be putting that on the top. That's why you're not finding that drive. That's why you're not getting that motivation, that inspiration that you need, because your priorities are kind of out of sync with your heart's wishes. So for some of you, this could definitely mean that you need to let yourself love, and that you need to stop focusing on material things and on the physical, tangible things in life. You need to kind of open yourself up more to the softer things in life, the emotional side of life, and prioritize. Put that maybe not the top of your priority list, but put that a little bit higher, and you'll see how much happier you can be. Something for you to think about is the Four of Cups. And yes, this card does talk of ungratefulness and greediness, and even a tendency to control and not really enjoy the blessings that you have. You're sort of just taking for granted the things that are around you. And I also just want to mention that you have two major arcana cards, the Hermit and the Chariot, but they're both in reverse. And so the major arcana cards are really divine influences, external influences that are kind of out of your control, that kind of have to play into destiny. And they're both in the reverse position, meaning that things are not really going well for you. Things are kind of, they're not where they should be. They need to be changed. There needs to be a change. And definitely with this Four of Cups in the upright position, this is telling you, since the minor arcana cards, these cards, like this card here, is more to do with your everyday life and with things that you can control, then it's telling you that you need to change the way you view things. You need to not be so ungrateful for the things that you have. And maybe you need to kind of reevaluate your priorities. Like I said, this definitely reinforces that that message. This is kind of a warning card. So, you know, life or the universe has kind of noticed that you've forgotten what it's like to not have the things that you do have. So you may be reminded of what it's like to not have those things. So definitely it is a warning card, but the good thing is that, you know, things are still good right now in your life. This is just a warning. It's not saying that things are going to all fall apart. You're going to be, you know, you're going to be left, someone's going to leave you, or you're going to, you know, experience heartache or anything like that. That definitely is a possibility. That's at the current state of what's going on. That is a definite possible outcome. But this card does warn you, and it's trying to help you, trying to push you into that, into the right direction. So then the outcome is the Six of Swords. So like I said, the outcome or the possibility of you having everything taken away is not, it doesn't have to be that way. It's not inevitable. We have here the Six of Swords, and this is just a beautiful number, a beautiful card. 6 is a card of harmony and stability, and the Six of Swords in particular is kind of like a break from fights and arguments and from struggle. It's really a card of hope, a card of you know, putting down the swords, putting away the fight, and kind of taking a step back and just, you know, putting that aside and looking to the bright side, looking to all the good. So in a relationship, this might mean, you know, finally just letting go of issues that were that you've been holding on to, kind of letting go of those things, putting down the sword, finally getting over it, and just looking at the good, looking at the silver lining, and really truly letting go of the past, and just looking only towards the future, and finally giving up the fight, not in a bad way, but just in a sense of accepting your blessings, and accepting that you don't have to constantly live in struggle and pain and misery. You know, don't be ungrateful for what you had or what you have right now. Don't hold on to things that are just making you unhappy. This card, the Six of Swords, is telling you that if you just, you know, look at the positive, and I know it's a message that, you know, people say all the time, but for you, I feel like Capricorns, it's hard to accept that when something comes easy, you feel like it's too good to be true. And I've noticed that Capricorns definitely feel like they need to make things a bit more complicated than they have to. And just, you know, this card is telling you to just, you know, relax. You don't have to always put up a fight. You don't always have to, you know, work so hard for something. If something comes easy, let it. If something comes effortlessly into your life, just accept it. You deserve happiness, and you've gone through enough in the past. You've gone through, you know, hardships before, and now it's time for you to accept your blessings, accept the fact that you can be happy. You don't need to always put up a fight. And your crowning card is the Strength card. So another major arcana card, but this time it's in the upright position. So we have the Strength card, which is associated with Leo, but it is also just a card of emotional strength, of being gentle. And again, this has to do with putting down the swords and just looking at the bright side of things, just kind of being a lover, not a fighter, giving up the fight. And so, you know, lions are kind of known for being ferocious, being the kings of the jungle. But this lion here has a rose in its mouth, and the pure or the true strength of this lion is the fact that he can be gentle. He knows when to attack, and he knows when to not attack. He knows when to just live and let live. And what makes him such a force to be reckoned with is that he doesn't need to constantly exert his power, his dominance over everyone else. He doesn't go out looking for fights. He knows his strength. He knows his power, but he also can be gentle, and he can be merciful and forgiving. And I feel like you need to be a little bit more forgiving for yourself. And you don't always have to put up a fight. You don't always have to, kind of question everything. You can just embrace the good that's happening around you. I do feel like, again, you need to prioritize a little bit and kind of be thankful for what you have. And if you're still kind of finding like you're lost in relationships or in general, you feel like you don't really see the point, you don't have a purpose, then really kind of evaluate your life, because it could be worse. And finally, I'm going to pull a card from this Getting into the Vortex Oracle deck. So we have this card here. Take it in. Notice the colors, the imagery, and see how that makes you feel, what thoughts come to your head. And it says here, I can praise abundance wherever I see it. I can praise abundance wherever I see it. So the message on the back says, if you seek a financial well-being for yourself, you must praise it wherever you see it. If you would like more abundance for yourself, personally, or for others you care about, you must not criticize those who are experiencing abundance. When you criticize or condemn or push against anything, you activate an opposing vibration to what you seek. Every time, no exceptions. So this definitely has to do with the Six of Swords. When you criticize or condemn or push against anything, you activate an opposing vibration to what you seek. So again, just put down the swords. Don't be so negative. Don't be so quick to judge and, be ungrateful for what you have. Just think about what you want. Be thankful for what you want. Thank whoever it is you thank people around you. Thank the Creator. Thank God. Thank, the divine. Thank the universe for whatever you are thankful for everything in your life, because again, it could be worse. And when you think about how unhappy you are, you're only going to surround yourself with things that make you unhappy. And so this card is just saying that, when you see people doing well, when you see people in love, when you see people accepting their blessings, don't criticize it, and don't, compare yourself to them, and don't make yourself feel bad and feel ungrateful because you see other people happy. You can be happy. You just need to embrace your blessings, and you need to open yourself up, and you need to put down the swords. You need to give up the fight a little bit, and you need to remember that you don't always have to, pounce and attack. There is strength and power in mercy, and being gentle. I praise abundance wherever I see it. Thank you so much for watching, for your time. I thank you. I really appreciate it. I especially love all the thumbs up, all the comments. You don't understand. My heart stops every time I get a YouTube notification. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate your kind words and for taking the time to listen to me. I do hope that these messages do something for you and that they help you, they resonate with you. I do personal readings as well. Just send me an email, solitairethesailor@gmail.com, and they are 100% free for the moment. I do accept donations, and I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from those one-on-one sessions as well, so that's really great to hear. I love all the feedback. So again, if you haven't watched your March 2017 general reading, check those out as well. It'll give you a more complete picture of what's in store for you. And check out your other signs, your sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, maybe your Venus sign, because Venus is in retrograde and her effects are magnified. So again, just kind of watch whatever sign you resonate with, and if there's something specific that you want to know, or if you're still not really relating to these videos, please reach out to me, send me an email, and we can I'll email you a personal reading, and that might be more relevant to your situation. So just send me an email, and I look forward to your next reading, and I hope to see you guys in April. I am also posting additional videos, not just tarot readings, but some explanation videos of what tarot actually is, and giving you my take on tarot, as well as some other videos. So keep a lookout, keep an eye out for those, and I'll see you guys soon.